Let me show you how to simplify this math problem. It's going to take time, but pay attention because I want to really break it down. Now, for you to simplify this, you must first of all factorize both the numerator and the denominator. So let me start with the numerator. So we're going to factorize x raised to power 2 minus 5x minus 14. To factorize this now, I need to know the product. To get the product, you have to say the coefficient of the power, which is x here now. The coefficient here is 1 times minus 14. So I'm going to have that product equals to 1 times minus 14. That will give me minus 14. Then the sum is the number in the middle, which is minus 5. Sum s equals to minus 5. So we're dealing with these two, minus 5 and minus 14. As soon as you have established this, the next thing you have to do is get the two numbers that when you multiply them together, you are going to get minus 14. Such that when you add them together as well, you get minus 5. If I ask you, what are those two numbers? Right, they are 7 and 2. But we need to put the right sign in front of them. Because the sum is negative, let the biggest number be negative. And then the smallest number will be positive. So that when you say minus 7 times plus 2, it will give you minus 14. Then when you say minus 7 plus 2, it will give you minus 5. That condition is already satisfied. The next thing for you to do is to what? Implant them into the expression. So this becomes x squared minus 7x plus 2x minus 14. I have not done any magic. Minus 7x plus 2x will give you back minus 5x. Have you seen it now? So we continue. X squared minus 7x plus 2x minus 14. So we need to factor out now. What is common? What can you find in x squared as well as in 7x? X. So bring it out here. We then have x minus 7x, minus 7. So that whenever you open the bracket again, you get back this. For instance, x times x squared. X times minus 7 minus 7x. So you can see the same thing. Similarly, what is common in 2x as well as 14? 2. Bring out the 2. So that you have x remaining here, and then you have 7. Let us see if it is true. 2 times x, 2x. 2 times minus 7 minus 14. So you can see it's the same thing. Now, you must ensure that the content of the bracket is the same. That is, whatever you have here must be equal to what you have here. That condition must be fulfilled. So we have been able to satisfy that. Then the next thing for us to do is to collect the coefficients of each bracket. The coefficient of this bracket is x. And that of this bracket is what? Plus 2. Then pick any of the brackets. You're done. So if you factorize this young man now, you will get, so we can write this as x plus 2 against x minus 7. I'm done with my numerator. Now let's come down to the denominator. It's going to take time, but be patient so that you can understand it. We are now going to factorize the denominator, which is written as x squared minus 9x plus 14. Just like you did initially, the coefficient of this power is 1 and the constant is 14. So the product becomes 1 times 14, and that is 14. Then the sum, the number in the middle, becomes minus 9. We are going to work with these two numbers, minus 9 and 14. Once again, which two numbers do I have to multiply to get 14? Such that when I add them, I get minus 9. What are those two numbers? I'm working with 7 and 2. So let us determine which one is going to be positive and which is going to be negative. Because the sum is negative and that the product is positive, two of them must be negative. So this is negative, this is negative. Why? Minus 7 times minus 2 will give you minus 4. Sorry. Minus 7 times minus 2 will give you 14. That's plus 14. And then minus 7 minus 2 will give you minus 9. Have you seen it now? So these two numbers will satisfy the expression. Minus 7 times minus 2 will give you 14. Minus 7 minus 2 will give you minus 9. So that's how you do it. When you add the two numbers, you're going to get minus 9. When you multiply them, you're going to get plus 14. So these two satisfy what we are looking for. Therefore, we're going to implant them in the expression. This becomes x squared minus 7x minus 2x plus 14. No magic. Minus 7x minus 2x will give you minus 9x. So that's the essence of doing this. Now, let's factor out. So we have x minus 7x in a bracket minus brackets open 2x. Be careful here now. Let me tell you why. This is minus. This is plus. Now, I have to arrange this bracket in a way that when I multiply the bracket with this negative number, this negative sign here, it must give me back what I have here. So in order to get this plus here, I must put negative. So that when I say minus times 2x, I'll get minus 2x. Minus times minus 14 will give me plus 14. Have you seen it now? So you have to be careful whenever you have this kind of situation. Now that we have done that, what is common here? X should be brought outside the bracket, and then you have x remaining against 7. X times s is s squared. X times minus 7 is minus 7x. So whenever you expand the bracket, you must get back this. Similarly, what is common here? Bring out 2, so that you are left with x minus 2 in 14 is 7. Now check it again. 2 times x, 2x. 2 times 14, sorry, 2 times 7, 14. Because the content of the bracket is the same, we know that it's already factorized. Just like the first time, collect the coefficients of the bracket together. So we have x, which is this one, minus 2, and then pick one of the brackets, x minus 7. So you've been able to what? Factorize the denominator. So finally, from what we did, our numerator gave us x plus 2, x minus 7, all over. The denominator gave us x minus 2 against x minus 7. What can cancel out? This is the same as this, so two of them can cancel out, leaving us with what? X plus 2 all over x minus 2. That's our final answer. You can no longer simplify this. This is the final stage, and that's how you can solve this problem. I hope it's clear and well understood. If there's any obscurity, please hit me in the comment section and then let me know so I can throw more light and make it easier for your understanding. Thank you so much. See you next time.